Welcome to Happy Game, Beta. This game is dedicated to finding happiness for players. It is an immersive VR game jointly sponsored and developed by Starry Sky Technology and Blue Network. Here, you will have a different life experience. This game does not have any cryptocurrency projects and is a one-time buyout system, but it does not prevent players from trading with each other. In trading activities, the system will charge a certain handling fee based on the value of the traded item. This game prioritizes player service and does not advocate for self-destructive behavior among players. Any violation will result in punishment. Finally, I hope you have a pleasant time playing Happy Game, Beta. My girlfriend, who couldn't make it back on Valentine's Day, actually gave me a gift in a VR game. After team collaboration, single-person escape, single-person storyline and other bizarre experiments, Song-Ching found that he seemed to have also been alienated. Can a girlfriend who couldn't make it back on Valentine's Day really make it back? Chapter 1. Valentine's Day Gifts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On Valentine's Day, my girlfriend from another place still couldn't make it back. Song-Ching called and she only said that she had bought something and it should be delivered soon. She didn't even say a few perfunctory words, so she quickly hung up the phone. Song-Ching rubbed his messy hair and let out a sigh. I don't know what's bothering me, although I understand him, I still feel a little disappointed in my heart. Dong dong. It should be the thing she bought that arrived. He got up and went to open the door, and several couriers outside carried a large box into the house. The leading courier delivered a receipt. Could you please sign for it? The voice of the courier was hoarse and unpleasant, carrying some kind of magical power, at least that's how Song-Ching felt, without any time to think. Song-Ching's mind was blank, and he didn't even know when he had filled out the form and left. When I regained my senses, there was an additional pure white VR experience compartment and a white instruction manual thrown on the bed in the room. Although those door-to-door delivery drivers may seem strange, after all, it was something my girlfriend gave me. How could he still harm me? Taking a long breath and closing the door, Song-Ching calmed down and suppressed the strange feeling he had just experienced before, starting to read the thin instruction manual. Welcome to Happy Game, Beta. This game is dedicated to finding happiness for players. It is an immersive VR game jointly sponsored and developed by Starry Sky Technology and Blue Network. Here, you will have a different life experience. This game does not have any cryptocurrency projects and is a one-time buyout system, but it does not prevent players from trading with each other. In trading activities, the system will charge a certain handling fee based on the value of the traded item. This game prioritizes player service and does not advocate for self-destructive behavior among players. Any violation will result in punishment. Finally, I hope you have a pleasant time playing Happy Game, Beta. Below is a detailed explanation of the experience warehouse. It seems like a very normal manual. After repeatedly reading and confirming that there were no issues or omissions, Song-Ching followed the instructions to enter the experience warehouse and prepared to experience this Valentine's Day gift. As soon as I lay down, the sticky liquid covered my whole body. Before entering the game, his final thought was, sticky, really disgusting. Afterwards, there was an endless sense of falling, and if it were in a dream, Song-Ching would probably wake up from a nightmare. After stabilizing his body sensation, Song-Ching opened his eyes and saw a vast starry sky and a diamond-shaped light blue glowing object in front of him. He reached out his hand to touch something in front of him, but ripples of water rippled in front of him. Hint. Insufficient permissions. Please follow the guidance to play the game. Hello, dear gamer. Welcome to Happy Game, Beta. I am your guide. You can call me and issue the command. View panel to view your attributes and game nickname. Mechanical sounds resound in nothingness. There is still no person or object in front of me, and it is impossible to determine where the mechanical sound is coming from. Is this beginner guidance? It's quite high. End. View panel, your current panel is. Nickname. Player 0212, modifiable, level. 0 out of 100 physical strength. 4/100 strength. 6 out of 100 flexibility. 3 out of 100 charm. 7 out of 100 intelligence. 5/100, other attributes not unlocked, skill points. 5 skill. Currently unavailable buff. Currently unavailable asset. Empty backpack. Beginner gift pack *1, containing 1 amulet, 500 coins, 1 random entry secret script, and 3 skill points, optional dungeons. Happy home, lawyer, peep, is this attribute too low? Out of 100, I didn't even make it to 10. Are I so poor? Song Ching couldn't help but harbor resentment in his heart. Subsequently, without hesitation, Song Ching chose to open the gift package and see if he could draw anything good. As for adding points, then add 3 points to flexibility and 5 points to stamina. It seems that this game should be a dungeon upgrade game, and stamina should be very important. With flexibility, evasion will also increase. As for intelligence, I don't know what it is for now, so let's leave it at that. Well, equip the talismans again. Since they have been given, use them all. Obtaining items. Beginner's secret code. Spiritual communication, automatically learn to obtain the skill, Spiritual Communication Beginner, your current panel is. Nickname. Song Chi, change requires 3,000 gold coins, level. 0 out of 100 physical strength. 9/100 strength. 6 out of 100 flexibility. 6 out of 100 charm. 7 out of 100 intelligence. 5/100, other attributes not unlocked, skill point. 0 skill. Primary level of psychic communication, able to hear subtle sounds of vengeful souls, buff. Beginner protection, no penalty for 3 game failures, asset. 500 gold coins equipment. Talisman *1, can withstand 1 ghost attack, backpack. Nun Song Ching nodded in satisfaction as he looked at his panel and then clicked the button to enter, Happy Home. I want to see how happy this Happy Home is. Loading medium-sized team collaboration dungeon, Happy Home. Copy introduction. In a desolate and remote town, there lives a happy family of 3 and a little witch. Although the little witch appears as a petite and lovely little girl, her heart is filled with jealousy and resentment. She cannot see the happiness of the family of 3 and curses them in the most vicious language. Kind people don't want to argue with him, but one day, the little witch disappeared and they don't know where he went. What does this have to do with them? System prompt. This dungeon is a team collaboration beginner dungeon, and players will play the role of travelers to experience a happy home. The game cycle is 3 days within the game, the earlier you complete the level, the better the reward. The main task is to find the little witch. The following are the benefits for beginner dungeons, 3 clues. 1. Do not consume meat. 2. Children, under 12 years old, will not lie. 3. After dark, try not to leave the building as much as possible. Wishing you a pleasant game. Seeing these things, he had a bad premonition, but the next second, Song Ching found himself standing on a road surrounded by strange dark red marks, with only withered yellow grass on both sides of the road. The sky was foggy, as if it was already evening, and he could only see a 2-story villa with an attic not far ahead. It seems that this is within the dungeon, quite realistic. The withered yellow grass swayed gently with the gentle breeze, and the decaying smell emanating from all around made Song Ching frown. How strange it looks here. I don't know when it is now. How long is it until night? It's better to go inside the building as soon as possible. Without much time to look around, Song Ching sprinted towards the small Western-style building in a 100-meter sprint. Thanks to the 5 points added to his physical strength, he felt much lighter and ran effortlessly. He ran to a small Western-style building, and even at a distance of several hundred meters, Song Qing didn't feel much tired. He raised his hand and lightly knocked on the door a few times. The door opened from inside, revealing a chubby man with a smiling face. "Sai, you look unfamiliar. Are you a tourist? I just received a notice from the town mayor. It's a coincidence that you haven't waited long, right?" He greeted Song Qing into the courtyard while exchanging greetings. "Just received a notice from the mayor. It seems that these dungeons have been arranged, and I should be a tourist." Entering through the gate is the garden and corridor, which leads directly to the small Western-style building. It is densely intertwined with ivy, fortunately with lights, otherwise it would be almost impossible to see anything. The decoration of the building is mainly in red, with a small white house next to it, which looks very abrupt. Song Qing couldn't help but take a second look, and the chubby man warmly introduced it to him as a flower house. "But now it's just a miscellaneous room. Previously, my wife had a sudden idea to plant some flowers, so I built this flower room for him to entertain. However, those flowers are really delicate and it's troublesome to take care of them. After my wife raised them for a few days, she no longer cared about them. Over time, most of the flowers that were kept inside were abandoned and withered. Now, these ivy plants are growing better at home, and most of the other flowers are not seen." The man explained with a smile. Song Qing nodded but didn't say anything more. The man led Song Qing to the hall and sat down, then went to the door to receive the remaining tourists. As soon as you enter, the first thing you see is the fireplace in the middle of the living room and the wall clock above, which now points to 6 o'clock. On both sides are the kitchen and dining hall. Song Qing looked around and saw that the interior of the house was decorated in European style. When he looked up, he could see a huge family photo hanging upstairs. The light was dim, and Song Qing couldn't see their faces clearly. There were 2 candlesticks next to them, with white wax inserted on them, but they were not lit. On both sides of the group photo are ladders leading to the second-floor grandstand, and on the wooden round table in the living room are fruit plates and a few map-like items. Song Qing sat down and quickly glanced at the map when the man suddenly returned, followed by 2 men and 1 woman, 3 players. "This is too dramatic, isn't it?" Song Qing's lips couldn't help but twitch. "I saw 3 people behind the fat man with prominent green names on their heads. The ID on the man wearing glasses in front of him is called Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War, Novice Protection Period. The ID on the strong man's head in the middle is Sven Man Big Boy, Beginner Protection Period. The remaining girl IDs are quite normal, well, not so normal either. Ice and Snow Lease Hang Mo, Novice Protection Period. It exudes some trendy vibe to some extent." Chapter 2. Teammates. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 3, Hide and Seek. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Glancing at the clock in a hurry, Song Qing couldn't think carefully. He saw the boss set aside the basket that had just been delivered, trying to see something. But the fact proves that this is in vain. There was no abnormality, the fragrance disappeared, as if even the plate had been licked clean, and there was no smell at all. The fat man didn't ask why they didn't eat meat, just neatly packed the dishes and put them in his basket. Unfortunately, from Song Qing's perspective, he couldn't see anything in the basket, so he had no choice but to give up. Seeing that his teammates hadn't moved, he could only obediently sit on the chair and wait for the next step of communication. After confirming the fat man's departure, he couldn't help but break the silence for the first time. "Have you noticed that there seems to be a problem at this time? Why is this fat man doing things so punctual?" The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God nodded and said, "It seems like this is indeed the case. This clock changes to full or half hour after the boss finishes something, but it shouldn't be on time. I think there might be an issue with the time flow, but I don't know if it's a game feature or something. Let's go to the room first and talk about it. He took out his phone and said to Xiaomo, I just made friends with Song Chi and Iron Man. Let's create a group now, and let's talk about something in the group. Ice Snow Lishang Mo nodded timidly and took out her own phone. Under the guidance of the system, a group chat was successfully completed. Then they went upstairs and returned to the assigned rooms. After repeatedly confirming that there were no abnormalities in the room, Song Qing climbed onto the bed and leaned against the head of the bed quietly waiting for their reply. Across from the bed was a portrait of the little girl, which could be seen as soon as she looked up. You have joined the group. Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War, S. You have a friend request. Bing Shueli Shang Mo requests to add him as a friend, verification message. I am Xiao Mo. Just as I clicked agree, the group chat began to tick by tick. Song Qing couldn't bear the disturbance and set the group chat to be undisturbed before starting to read their messages. Iron Man, Civic Big Boy. Report. I have successfully reached the bed. Xiao Mo, Ice and Snow Lishang Mo. I checked the room and then locked the door. Song Qing, Song Chi. There isn't anything unusual on my end, but I think there may be a problem with the hostess of this house. The fat man made delicious meat and took a considerable portion. Why is that woman always so thin? It's like a bone rack. Huayu, Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War in the universe. I didn't notice this, but the hostess is really a bit thin. The fat guy should have taken on a different kind of meat than the one he gave us. Iron Man, gentlemen. I think so too, but without close contact, I don't know. My skills can only be activated at close range. Huayu, Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War in the universe. Forget about it. After all, we can't be too greedy and rash on the first night. Let's talk about tomorrow's plan. Huayu, Universal Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. My mission is too vague. I don't know where the Chamber of Secrets is, so I can only go for a casual stroll tomorrow. What are your plans for tomorrow? Iron Man, gentle big boy. I plan to go to school tomorrow. So, I think the group photo must be related to the school. I need to go there and find some clues. Xiao Mo, Ice and Snow Lishang Mo. My task is to help with the temple fair. I will also go to the town tomorrow to see if there are any clues. Huayu, Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. Then let's go together tomorrow. It's safer for a few people to be together, after all, this looks like a supernatural dungeon. Xiaomo, Ice and Snow Lishang Mo. Okay. Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War at Song Chi Huayu, Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. What are your plans for tomorrow? Song Qing, Song Chi. Tomorrow, I want to go to a crowded place in the town to inquire and see if I can get any news about the little witch. Huayu, Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. Little cat okay emoji. Ignoring the news in the group, Song Qing closed his eyes and activated his teleportation skill, attempting to hear something unusual. Shishi soa soa. Shishi soa soa, the sound around him kept amplifying, but in the end he didn't hear anything clearly. I was somewhat disappointed, but it was also expected. The clock is on his bedside, now it's 9:30. Bang! The sound coming from the corridor startled him, but soon came the voice of the fat man. Oh my, it hurts me so much. There was a sound of patting my clothes outside, and at the same time, the door of the Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War in the universe opened, talking to the fat guy. Boss, are you okay? Hey, it's okay. I just fell down and wanted to come over here and tell them to close all the doors and windows when sleeping at night. It's best not to wake up at night. Although there is a bathroom in the room, it's best to solve it before going to bed and close the bathroom door before going to bed. Is there anything particular about this bathroom? Oh, no, it's just that the house wasn't built properly when we first built it. There might be some air leakage in the bathroom, and it's windy at night, so I'm afraid it might blow on you. Oops. Woo-woo. Interrupted by the child's crying. Oh my, no need to disturb me. If the child doesn't see me, I'll cry. I should go back to sleep now. Squeak. The door across from me closed. After a while, the sound of the door locking came from the other end of the corridor. Song Chin glanced at the clock and it happened to be 9:30. In the dark, he found the bathroom in his room and slowly opened the door. He wanted to explore what was strange about this bathroom, so that the fat guy could come out specifically to remind the player. According to the fat guy, the bathroom may not be very clean, but according to the rules, it should only appear after nightfall, and it's okay to close the door. It's only 9:30 now, and there's still half an hour before falling asleep. To be on the safe side, he still sent a message in the group. Wealth insurance is in demand. I think there should be something in the bathroom. I'll stay for 10 minutes and explore the way. Song Chin relaxed his mind, activated his skills again, and carefully listened to the sound of the bathroom to see if he would make any discoveries this time. Please inform us of your request. Has it failed? He was somewhat disappointed, just about to withdraw from his psychic state, but he heard these voices becoming increasingly sharp and clear. Don't hit me, Mom. It hurts so much, Mom. Woo-woo, was the little girl's voice. Who is your mother? Don't call me mother. Don't look at me with that kind of gaze, I won't give birth to a witch. This was a sharp and neurotic female voice. Sorry baby, Mom loves you, Mom loves you. But the sound of beating and the girl's sobs did not disappear. The sound faded like a tide, and he sat on the ground, breathing heavily. Watching the teleportation in the CD, he felt a lingering fear, and this suffocating feeling of impending death was too real. Turn on your phone, private messages and group messages have already turned into 20+, and there are still several missed calls. Song Chin. Song Chin, are you okay? Your door can't be opened. The homeowner's family seems to have disappeared, and so much noise has not come out. There's no such thing as 10 minutes of time here. After looking at the time, it was already 10:30. Song Chin, who had just regained her composure, dared not stop and ignored her physical discomfort. She immediately crawled out of the bathroom and didn't forget to close the door when she went out. Lying in bed in shock, waiting for his heartbeat to calm down a bit, Song Chin was typing in the group. Song Chi said, I'm sorry, I was impulsive, but I didn't get nothing just now. Song Chi said, I just heard some memory clips, and I can preliminarily confirm that the little witch is the daughter of this family. Song Chi. This family must have a problem. The first one to reply was the Universal Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex. Why you, Universal Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War? Well, I know now, they should both be asleep. I just ran out and knocked on your door, trapped in the hallway. I can't get into my room anymore. Why you, Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War? It seems like something has come over, let's not talk about it for now. Song Chin was not speaking, staring blankly at the tightly closed bathroom door. He was about to review what he had just experienced when he heard the little girl's laughter in his ear. Mom said, if you don't sleep after 10 p.m., you're all disobedient children. Those who don't listen should be punished. He lay in bed, covered himself with a blanket, closed his eyes, and forced himself to ignore the eerie sound in an attempt to fall asleep, but the sound in his ear was indeed too noisy. It's too late. Children who don't sleep at 10 o'clock will definitely be punished. Come and play games with me. If you win, I'll let you go. The little girl's voice was very close, as if it was close to his ear, blowing him goosebumps all over. Song Chin tightly closed his eyes, thinking that he would just go to sleep, but the little girl clearly had no intention of letting him go. With his eyes closed, the sensations of other senses were infinitely magnified, and a huge danger was approaching that could not be ignored. The instinctive reaction of his body forced him to open his eyes, only to find that the room in front of him had changed. The portrait of the little girl only has a background, which is a small white house with only a faint view of many flowers of different colors inside. And the room has turned into a blood-red ocean, with the photo frame floating on the ocean. The waves, like tentacles, attempted to engulf him in the sea, but were scattered as he approached. The voice of the little girl came from all directions. Any disobedient child will be punished. Hide and seek, let's play hide and seek. Chapter 4. Hide and Seek, Part 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 5. Hide and Seek, Part 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It seems that you will let me go this time. Song Ching breathed a sigh of relief, feeling a lot of pain on his body. He sat on the bed for a while to relax, and the clock was ticking. He stared at the clock aimlessly for 5 minutes. It wasn't until his body couldn't support him and he finally woke up. Have they left yet? He slowly crawled out of bed. The last time he was assigned a cleaning task by a woman outside, he only took a rough look at the room and didn't search it carefully. After all, he thought they wouldn't check if his room was clean, but since the door wasn't the correct answer, the possibility of a locked flower room and attic being the answer greatly increased. Since it's not outside, there might be some clues in the little girl's room. To be honest, the furnishings in the little girl's room are not complicated, not even a bedside table or wardrobe, only a bed, a clothes box by the window, and a separate bathroom. Song Ching planned to thoroughly inspect this room, but the little girl said in the end that he still had 2 chances, which means he could start over and make mistakes, right? Even if he cannot complete the woman's cleaning task and dies, he still has 1 chance. He first touched the little girl's bed and even the mattress, but in the end, he found a paper clip that had been broken into wire. This thing can't be just a key. Judging by its thickness, it should be the key of the attic. That lock is quite large, while the one in the flower room is much smaller and more exquisite. Put the wire on the clothes box, and Song Ching went to check the bathroom next. There is almost no abnormality, except for many withered yellow hair in the sink and dark blood stains in the corner, there is almost no problem. At the end, he checked the clothes box again, and there were also many bloodstains scattered on it, but it couldn't be seen without careful inspection. At the bottom, there is a thick green diary. I'll go, this thing. It looks like there's a big secret. He couldn't wait to open his diary, but the thick one was only a few short pages. The little girl's handwriting can be called graceful, but the shape is different from Xia's and more complex, but this does not affect understanding. On the 6th day of January 30th in the first year of Zhao, it was sunny. I'm so happy, Teacher Wang gave me a notebook. It looks really nice and I really like it. I also have my own secret garden. Teacher Wang is really kind. He was the first person to praise me for being cute and kind to me. I want to thank him well. On the 7th day of the 2nd month of the first year of the Zhao era, it was cloudy. It's still the same daily routine. They go to work, and I stay at home to clean up. However, Teacher Wang said that as long as I study hard, I can get out of this kind of life by passing the exam this year. I will definitely study hard. On the 2nd day of February in the first year of the reign of Emperor Zhaoi, the first day was sunny. I hate schools, I hate them. Why do I have to live? Why was I born here? I'm so tired. If only they could all die. On the 3rd day of February in the first year of the Zhao era, the 2nd day was cloudy. The temple fair is about to start. Today, I saw many people wearing red clothes on the street. Their red color is so beautiful. Can my blood be so beautiful too? A large group of dried blood stains. On the 3rd day of February in the first year of the reign of Emperor Zhao, it was sunny. Grandma Wang, who sells goosebump soup, gave me a bowl of goosebump soup today. His craftsmanship is really amazing. It's so delicious. I hope I can drink it every day. A young man has moved in next to the temple, who looks pretty and even smiles kindly when he sees me. It's really nice. If he knew I was a witch, would he still behave like this? Lord bless me to leave here smoothly. On the 4th day of February in the first year of Zhao, it was sunny, scratchy lines, then randomly blacked out, I don't know what I drew. On the 7th day of February in the first year of the reign of Emperor Zhao, it's better to die in such a day afterwards, there were all blank pages or meaningless scribbles. With a cautious mindset, Song Qing even peeled open the surface of his diary and read it once, without any remaining clues. It seems that the little girl should cherish this notebook very much, but even though she destroyed it like this, she did not feel any negative emotions, which is truly thought-provoking. After all, when he was beaten by that woman before, he could indeed feel fear in his body that did not belong to him, and there was not even a hint of resistance. Put the diary back in its original place, he plans to go back and try the paper clip to see if it works. It has been proven to be useful. I admit that Your Excellency has some tricks in locking, but I also have some knowledge about wire unlocking. After hearing a click, Song Qing knew that it was stable. This wire is definitely not tickling there, so the rest of the matter will be much simpler. The dust on the stairs leading to the attic is not very heavy. Perhaps the little girl used to come and clean it frequently. After all, in today's view, this iron wire is the only useful thing for deciphering dreams. Can this thing also open the door to his parents' room? Suddenly, Song Qing had a bold idea. The stairs were not too long, only a few sections, and with a creaking sound, Song Qing finally saw what was placed on the small attic. It's a toy rabbit. It's not something terrifying, with no buttons or human-sewn eyes, just a dirty, ordinary doll rabbit. What is this? The little girl's toy. Song Qing picked it up and pinched it, recalling the mechanical toys scattered everywhere in the miscellaneous room. The rabbits in the attic gave him an unreal feeling. What kind of ghost is this family? The little boy's toy throwing room, the little girl's toy placing in the attic. Is this love for this little girl or not? Song Qing cleaned the dust off the little doll and prepared to take it down. The little girl's voice suddenly rang out from the doll's belly. Brother, you found me. So now, where should I go? Ha! Song Qing once again held the doll in front of him and pinched its belly, confirming that there was nothing inside, and the girl's voice did not ring again. It's too strange. When it made a sound just now, I clearly felt my stomach vibrating, but now there's nothing left. Song Qing had to shake his head and walk towards his parents' room. As the saying goes, if a little girl is looking for a place to go, her parents' room is a good answer. Although Song Qing preferred to stuff it into a woman's belly, he was now just a skinny little girl of 8 or 9 years old. He had already understood that with his physical fitness, he couldn't beat that woman at all, let alone use violent means to stuff it into her belly. This question is definitely not solved in this way. Pulling out the iron wire again to unlock, the previously unfamiliar technique gradually became integrated. I'll just say, multiple skills and multiple paths. I really want my sister to praise me. Turning the door handle reveals the structure of the room in full view. Although the layout of the room is almost the same as that of the little girl, the decoration is completely one heaven and one earth, and the size is basically more than double. There is a baby crib next to it, and the blankets on the bed are neatly stacked together. The blue paint looks fresh and warm. Song Qing placed the little rabbit doll on the crib and even pulled up the blanket to cover it, but nothing happened. It was placed on the master bedroom again, but still nothing happened. What kind of ghost, isn't it here? Where should he go then? Realizing that this might not be the final correct answer, Song Qing began a quick search. The last time he had restarted before the family of 3 had returned, he didn't know what would happen if the cleaning task could not be completed and the owner came back to see this scene. In order to avoid being beaten, he decided to open the door and restart if it was time to break the dream. So he needs to quickly find the key to the flower house and explore it. Last week, he didn't see anything like a chainsaw in the house. If he really can't find the key, he thinks he should try using the kitchen knife to chop it. Fortunately, I found it. In the crevice of the crib board, it was really difficult for him to touch such a small key at once. Quickly running down the stairs and rushing towards the flower room, the desk calendar in the living room caught his attention. February 20th, the 7th day of the first year of the Zhao era. Was this the last date? Without much time to think, the excitement of passing the level diluted his curiosity. He dragged the rabbit all the way to the flower room and excitedly used the key to open the lock that he couldn't open last week. Succeeded. As he stepped into the flower room, he still felt a bit unreal, partly because he didn't expect it to be so smooth, and partly because he didn't expect the interior of the room to be so beautiful. All kinds of flower beds were neatly arranged but not abrupt, with a strong fragrance but not pungent. The colorful flowers were presented in front of him harmoniously and uniformly, and the seemingly ordinary glass outside actually looked like rose windows inside, reflecting colorful colors unevenly scattered all over the flower room. He didn't expect it to be just a small flower room, but inside there could be such a mystery. Success, brother. I didn't expect brother to complete the task with only one chance left. Brother is so amazing. The little girl's exaggerated voice came from the air, and the surrounding scenery kept collapsing. Finally, it reorganized into the sea of blood he saw when he first came in. Just now, the waves seem to be getting bigger. Brother has completed the task, so what reward should I award? The voice seems really distressed. Then reward brother and become a witch too. It's dawn, if you don't wake up again, you won't be a good child. The dream shattered, and Song Qing was also awakened from it. The phone placed next to his head before going to bed lit up at the right time. Song Qing took the phone and 2 system notification messages were displayed on the screen. System notification. Player Song Qi clears the hidden game and completes the mission of hide and seek IA. Level clearance. Rewards 200 gold coins. Hidden reward. Obtain curse/blessing. Which source? You violated the rules that imprisoned him and completed the game she set, so he blessed/cursed you, accepted her fate, and inherited her abilities. Effect. Unknown energy/unknown/incomplete information, under seal. What the hell? Song Qing tossed and turned to see the effect but couldn't understand it, and the entire information was incomplete. Can this game still work? Flip down to see group messages and private chat messages. Private message. Huayu, Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. At Song Qi, have you woken up? Group messages. Huayu, Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. At all members, follow the rules as much as possible. I've been exhausted from running all night. Iron Man, Gentle and Refined Big Boy. What's wrong, brother? Why run all night? Huayu, Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. I have taken it. Last night, I locked the door outside during sleep time, and I couldn't enter the room directly. Then there was a short figure holding a knife trying to chop me down. Thanks to my abilities, I was not eliminated. What a delightful hide and seek game. Iron Man, Gentle and Refined Big Boy. I'll go. It sounds so scary. Chamois, Ice and Snow Lease Hang Mo. I'll go. It sounds so scary. Huayu, the Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War in the universe. I can't do it anymore. I'm trapped and I need to go to bed. My dear friends, kneel down and rest. Huayu, Universe Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. Animated emoji/trapped, it seems that Huayu's side is also quite dangerous. Song Qing couldn't help but feel uneasy and scared. It seems that he can't be so impulsive anymore in the future. Returning to Huayu early, Song Qing planned to go out and take a look at the newly awakened emoji. The little witch said she can't stay in bed, so there may be something that needs to be done in the morning. Move your muscles and bones, the feeling of stagnation in your dream gradually fades away. As you pass by, take a glance and the little girl in the picture frame still can't see her face clearly. However, he plans to go see if he has breakfast now and ignore it for the time being. As soon as I opened the door, I saw the fat man standing in front of the Iron Man's door, his hand raised high, as if intending to knock on the door, but I quickly put it down when I saw him. "Did you sleep well last night?" the chubby man asked with a smile. "Well, it's pretty good," he pretended to yawn casually, unable to imagine that such a kind man in front of him would be the same person as the cold and cruel voice in his dream. "That's good, I just made breakfast. Are you going to the town for a walk today? I can take you over by the way." "In the town? What's there, boss?" "We are actually quite far from the town, with schools, docks, and temple fairs all located there." "Oh," Song Qing nodded. "Thank you, boss, but I'll call them. They may be a bit angry when they wake up, and it's not good if they scare the boss." "Oh, okay then," the chubby man touched his bald head. "Then I'll set up breakfast below, and you can come and eat it yourself. Once you're done, you can tell me that I'll take you to town." After that, he turned around and went downstairs. Song Qing watched as the fat man's figure disappeared at the staircase before turning around and knocking on Iron Man's door. "Iron Man, are you awake? Go down and have breakfast. We'll go to the town later to look for clues." Chapter 6. Breakfast. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a crackling sound came from the room, Song Qing finally heard the gentle voice of the big boy, "Hey, I'm here." The door was pulled open, and Song Qing looked at the sweaty Sven boy and asked, "What were you doing just now? Why was there so much noise?" The Sven boy scratched his head and smiled foolishly, but did not answer. Instead, he changed the topic and said, "Let's go call Xiaomua and Huayu. Didn't we say we still need to go to the town to see?" Song Qing didn't bother anymore, and behind him, the door of ice and snow Li Hangmo quietly opened. She was already dressed neatly, waiting for their next instructions. The Sven big boy is actually carefree and has no ideas. "Are we still going to call Brother Huayu? He seems to have stayed up all night. Let's go later and let him sleep a little longer. Let's go eat first. When the fat guy leaves, we'll call him and bring him some food." "Okay, then." The elegant and gentle boy stopped speaking and followed Song Qing downstairs with ice and snow Li Hangmo. However, to their surprise, as soon as they entered the dining room, they saw the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War sitting at the dining table. Seeing them, he extended his hand and greeted them, then turned his head and wolfed them down. Everyone sits down. The dragon warrior of the invincible universe has almost eaten. There are 4 steamed stuffed buns, 3 cups of soybean milk and 3 pieces of cake on the table, all steaming hot. It seems that the dragon warrior of the invincible universe has only eaten soybean milk and cake. He has no intention of touching steamed stuffed buns without knowing what stuffing they are. Song Qing also took a piece of cake and a cup of soybean milk. While eating, he asked the world's invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War, "Do you have any idea about the monster you met after turning off the lights last night?" The universe's invincible Tyrannosaurus warrior swallowed the last mouthful of cake, took a gulp of soybean milk, and couldn't help belching. Hearing this, he couldn't help waving his hand, "Stop talking. It was a night of chase. It's outrageous. Running in the game is so tiring. Yesterday when I went to call you, I was locked outside. Then I saw a group photo in the middle tearing apart a chubby black shadow. I used a stone I picked up from the roadside to smash it, and it was swallowed by black without even making a sound. Fortunately, I have my talent and ability to support it. I forgot to mention that my talent is enhancement, with a cooldown of 30 seconds, only a slight enhancement. However, fortunately, that short and chubby ghost is not very fast. I have been running in this house and I am exhausted. Song Qing nodded and said, "Did you find anything else yesterday? Where's the group photo?" The flow of time is indeed abnormal, and it feels even more abnormal at night. Although I am tired from running, I feel that it has only been 2 hours at most, and the clock has already pointed to 8 o'clock in the morning. The sky has also lit up. Fortunately, I was not caught by that ghost, so I didn't go back to my room and just came here to wait. I just don't know if this time flow is abnormal only in my room or outside the town. As for the group photo, it was completely shrouded in a white mist. I don't know who was missing. Almost all doors are locked at night, including the living room door and bedroom door, and the only one that can be opened is the door leading up to the attic. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex frowned, but the chubby ghost seems to dare not approach there. I'm afraid there might be some greater danger there, so I didn't go up either. At night, the villa still had its lights on, but the lights were very dim and looked quite scary. There were still many unknown stains in the miscellaneous room and kitchen, and I guess it should be blood. Song Qing nodded thoughtfully. The clues provided by the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war in the universe were very useful and interesting. In his dream, it was known that the attic was the territory of the little girl. So, the chubby ghost shadow and the little girl should be two different camps. In his memory, there should only be dust and the little boy's toys in the miscellaneous room. Since there is blood, according to the current morality of this game, someone must have died there, but it is unclear who this family of four is. And what did you encounter last night? I just went to the bathroom yesterday to take a look, and the bathroom was normal, but... Song Qing hesitated for a moment. Through my abilities, I telepathically saw some. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war understood, let's go find the boss in town first, it's not too early. The big pancakes in the hands of Bingshu Elisheng Mo and the elegant boy had already been eaten, but the difference was that Bingshu Elisheng Mo took another bun and nibbled on it in small bites. Judging from the color of the bun, it was indeed a meat bun. The polite boy watched as they finished their conversation and rubbed his stomach in frustration. I'm not full. At this moment, the chubby guy happened to come over and tidy up the table. When he heard the polite boy say these words, his facial features immediately wrinkled with a smile. It's okay, there's more I'll do in the kitchen. I'll go pack a few for you to eat on the way. Do you still have steamed buns? Ice Snow Lisheng Mo timidly looked up and asked the fat man. The fat man was obviously surprised, but he still said, the buns are already gone. Wait a moment, I'll go wash the dishes, and we'll set off. After the fat man left, Song Qing gave Xiaomua a different look, but seeing that she had no intention of explaining, Song Qing could only suppress a hint of unease in her heart. The fat man quickly finished washing the dishes, and the four of them also got into the fat man's car. This is a very normal silver sedan, and the chubby guy obviously takes good care of it. Although it looks like this car has been around for some years, it does not affect normal use. He also carefully arranges the aromatherapy inside the car, and every object is free of any dirt or dust. This made them feel so comfortable that they felt a bit drowsy, but the car quickly arrived at the small town. The fat man said he had other things to do and came here at 5 p.m. to pick them up. He placed them at the intersection and then left on the left road. On the right is a very huge red building, which appears to be over 10 meters high. According to the markings on the map, this should be a temple. There are not many pedestrians around, and even if there are, their faces are blurry and cannot be seen clearly. What did you see yesterday? Is it about the main storyline? After confirming that the fat guy had left and this was a secluded place, the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war couldn't wait to ask. Song Qing nodded and said, I explored the bathroom yesterday and didn't find anything strange. However, through my talent, I saw the hostess beating the little girl and calling her a witch. The little witch that the mission asked me to find should be her. Did you see the little girl? What does she look like? Do she have any obvious features? The elegant young boy heard this and leaned in to block their footsteps. Ice and Snow Lishangmo also got closer. It's okay, you keep talking, said the cosmic invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, the god of war, as he opened the door to the Sven Mun boy. The elegant and witty big boy obediently retreated to the side of the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war in the universe, and the four of them continued to move forward. Upon careful reflection, Song Qing realized that he had not actually seen the little girl's appearance. Even in the dream bathroom, the mirror inside was blurry. It was just that he did not pay too much attention to this at the time. After all, it was a dream, and everything he saw at that time had a sense of blurred boundaries, which was normal. No, I didn't see what she looked like. After I finished exploring the bathroom, I successfully exited and saw the message you sent me, but the little girl pulled me into a sea of blood. This should be her domain, right? I guess, I don't know what it is either. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war, has been frowning, not knowing what he is thinking, while Xiaomao and the cultured boy are also witty and silent. Song Qing continued to recount his experience, but concealed some things that he felt were not very important. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war, nodded, indicating that he understood. You cleared the level in your dream. Did you receive a reward? Song Qing nodded and said, I have received a reward that I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. After ending the pursuit, I also received a reward. I think this indicates that I violated the system's prompts, which may have risks but also rewards. The dangerous conditions indicated by the system are not necessarily fatal. Following the rules will make it easier for us to survive, but like some key clues, it must be difficult for us to find them. The elegant boy widened his eyes, looked back and forth at the two of them, and finally only said, ah. And Ice and Snow Lishangmo lowered her head again. Song Qing fell silent for a moment. Indeed, the benefits of violating the rules were enormous, but if it were him who fought the chase last night, he might not have been able to find any useful clues, or even escape the pursuit of ghosts. Ice Snow Lishangmo also violated the meat-eating advice, but it's unclear if she received any rewards. A few people didn't speak anymore, each thinking about their own affairs, and once again walked to the fork in the road. Let me take a look at the map. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war, pointed to the map and asked the polite young boy, do you want to go directly to school? Why don't we go to school with you after we've strolled through the town? Thank you, brother. You're so kind, replied the elegant boy repeatedly. On the left is the dock, and on the right is the commercial street. Where do you want to go first? Song Qing couldn't think for a moment whether the dock had anything to do with the whereabouts of the little girl, but there must be many people on the commercial street. Perhaps they know the whereabouts of the little girl. I want to go to the commercial street first. Ice Snow Lishangmo also nodded subtly, and the group walked towards the commercial street. Chapter 7. Rules. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There are indeed many people strolling in the commercial street. It's more like wandering than wandering. These people still can't see their facial features clearly. They wear various clothes, each with their own unique characteristics, but their presence is not strong. This is a very strange feeling. Even if these strange people who couldn't see their faces came close, Song Qing and his companions would almost instinctively ignore them. The streets are full of these strange people, but their appearance doesn't seem to be very aggressive. The people around are all busy with their own tasks, and those who cannot see their faces clearly seem to mechanically repeat a certain action. The fruit vendor keeps repeating the actions of holding a bag of fruit, weighing it, and handing it to the person in front of them. Upon closer inspection, what he is holding is actually a blurry ball, sometimes becoming a small oval shape, sometimes a crescent-shaped shape, and there is not always someone in front of him. People who can see their faces clearly are different, and they look much more vivid, such as Wang Grandma who sells pimple soup. Grandma Wang's shop seems to be just an ordinary breakfast shop. There are steaming cages and big pots for cooking soy egg in front of the shop. It seems that there is nothing wrong with it. A woman with sparse white hair on her head is warmly greeting customers at the store entrance, probably the owner Wang grandma. Song Qing walked up and said, "Grandma, how do you sell this lump soup?" Grandma Wang looked up and smiled, saying, "The big bowl is 9 yuan, and the small bowl is 7 yuan. Are you and the young people behind you traveling here together? Alright, Grandma will treat you to a delicious meal. Come back." Song Qing looked at the rolling minced meat mixed with dough in the pot. "Grandma, no need. We had all eaten before coming here this morning." Behind her, Ice and Snow Glass Shang Mo took a step forward. "Ah. Grandma, can I try it?" Number 34, "Of course, Xiaoyan can give me a hand." Number 34, she rubbed her hand on her apron and said, "You guys go inside and wait for a while. Tang Ma will be fine. Do you want anything else to eat?" The Sven One big boy had not had enough to eat in the morning, so he asked for 2 more mantou. As for the big cake given by the fat man, although it tasted good, it was too dry, so he decided to eat it when he was hungry at noon. Song Qing and the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War chose to observe the changes and did not order anything. The person who came to serve the dishes was a young man with a delicate appearance, who looked only 7 or 8 years old, so he should still be in school. "Little brother, aren't there classes at school today? How can I help at Grandma's shop?" The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War smiled and spoke to the boy. The young man smiled shyly and said, "I'm not a student, I didn't get into high school." The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex raised his eyebrows and said, "Brother, did you also study at a school in town before?" He nodded and said, "The schools in the city are too far away. If I were to study here, my grandmother said I could still have my second uncle take care of me." "Xiaoyan, go flip over the pot." The young man quickly arranged the dishes and said, "Please take your time, before rushing to help." "Did you see anything?" The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, the God of War, whispered to the refined boy. It's quite normal, I didn't feel any ominous about them." There wasn't anything in the meal," said the elegant and gentle boy, scratching his head. Song Qing is a bit confused now. The things mentioned in the rules, such as the evening mist and family photos at night, can all be judged as unknown items based on the ability of a refined young boy, but only the one about meat has no clue. He couldn't help but glance at Ice Snow Lishang Mo again, who was sipping the soup. Did she also receive a reward after violating the rules, or is this rule simply a fake rule? Chapter 8. Temples. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There doesn't seem to be any useful clues in this small shop anymore. At least, if you come here openly, you won't be able to get anything useful. The door to the kitchen was tightly closed, but the polite boy said he didn't feel anything uncomfortable in the kitchen, so the group decided to put it aside for now. Not far ahead seems to be a temple. If you build the temple directly in the center of the town, it seems that the people here are quite superstitious. After leaving the store, the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War pointed at the map. "Let's take a look at the temple by the way. Anyway, we also need to help with the temple fair, right?" Song Qing said casually, his eyes wandering around, not knowing what he was thinking. "Let's hurry up and pay homage to this god. Maybe he can still bless us to see the clearance and throw clues or something in our face." The Sven One big boy looked excited, and Ice Snow Lishang Mo listened attentively behind him, without intending to express his opinion. The temple was even closer than they had imagined, and only then did they realize that the red walls along the way were all the outer walls of the temple. The surrounding vendors were all facing the temple for business, and the entrance was facing an unknown road that was not marked on the map. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War outlined it on the map and planned to take them inside. The temple gate is wide open, and visitors who cannot see their faces come and go, making noisy and incomprehensible sounds during conversations. However, they keep staring at them as they leave the temple gate. A handsome middle-aged man stopped them and said, "Are you from out of town? Do you want to go in and visit the temple?" The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war nodded and said, "We are new here and would like to pay a visit to the Earth god." "Ah, that's it, but that young lady can't go in." The middle-aged man pointed to Ice and Snow Lishangmo who followed last. "She carries an ominous aura, and the gods will not allow her to enter the temple." The three of Song and Qing looked at each other, not expecting this kind of change. "What if we have to go in together?" They wouldn't agree either. The middle-aged man spread his hand and nuzzled in the direction of the temple. Song Qing followed his gaze and saw that those who couldn't see their expressions clearly had stopped. The lines on their faces became messy, just like the art style in an anime had collapsed, but in reality, it was still quite impactful. The elegant boy couldn't help but scream in surprise and loudly said, I'll stay with Shamwa here." "You guys go in." Before those shameless people completely transformed, those things instantly stopped changing and just moved all the way towards them, blocking the entrance of the temple, isolating the elegant and literary boy and the two of them, Bingshu Lishangmo and Song Qing. It seemed that they were determined not to let them in. Song Qing and the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war exchanged a glance. Turning his head to the other two people, he said, "You two, go back to Grandma's store and wait for us. We'll come find you when we come out." The Sven big boy was obviously scared out of his wits. He nodded and grabbed Ice and Snow Lishangmo's hand before running towards Wang Grandma's shop without looking back. "Ah. There's nothing we can do. It seems that those things are quite terrifying, scaring Iron Man like this." The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war and Song Qing entered the temple one after another, and the group of shameless people automatically gave way without making it difficult for them. Speaking of which, Shamwa's task is to help with the temple fair. If she can't enter the temple, completing the task will probably be even more difficult. Song Qing accelerated half a step and stood shoulder to shoulder with the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war, surveying the temple. On the map, this temple alone occupies half of the space, which is enough to prove its importance in the hearts of the people in the town. However, it seems similar to ordinary religious places and there is nothing unique about it. Well, that's also something we can't do, but not letting Shamwa in is not because this god values men over women, is it? As soon as the teasing words of the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war were finished, I saw a woman sitting under the bamboo forest not far ahead, with 4 big green letters on her head. Hamburg Shark Hand. Chapter 9. The Gods. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 10. Quarter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The man with a smile on his face looked at them and extended his hand, saying, "Are you out? Why do you look flustered?" "Oh, it's okay, but I just had some excitement and suddenly ran a race." The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war also extended his hand to greet him, his mouth flowery, but his speed did not slow down at all. "Are you going to my place for a cup of tea?" the man said with a smile. "Just walk a little longer on the road in front of the temple." "No need, our friends are still waiting for us." The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war refused him without even thinking. Song Qing couldn't help but take a few more glances at him as he passed by, feeling an indescribable strangeness in this man. The Sven big boy and Bingshu Lishangmo are obviously just here. The former is also carrying a large skewer of food, such as roasted corn, drinks, and so on. Without waiting for them to catch their breath, the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war walked non-stop towards the school direction. Time is tight, let's try to explore important locations today and have a rough understanding of where our tasks are and how to do them. Song Qing's stamina has increased a bit, and there was no problem with the short run just now. Ice and Snow Lishangmo and the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war are not any different either, except that the elegant and gentle big boy and Hamburg shark are panting a bit hard. Unexpectedly, Iron Man's physical strength was not strong enough. Song Qing shook his head. It seemed that the bigger the muscles, the better. The school needs to be slightly further away, and it took a few people about 20 minutes to walk there. The school is built on the right side of the road, with a row of residential buildings on the left. On the first floor, there are some convenience stores and a noodle shop. Like the vendors in the market, they also have no face, but they can vaguely display some facial features. There is only a security guard in his 60s at the entrance of the school, who looks very kind. Hamburg Shark approached the security guard and, as expected, was released. Ah, indeed, Sister's charm is unmatched. The narcissistic flicked her hair, and the Hamburg Shark pointed to the school. Towards the new map, move forward. I'm the second best. Song Qing can't help complaining in his heart. But no matter what, the group still came in. As soon as you enter the school, the first thing you can see is a 400-meter playground, stone steps, and stands. Although the small path leading to the teaching building nearby can also be used for walking, it is still more time-saving to walk on the playground. Not only did Song Qing think so, but also the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war in the universe, charging straight down. However, Song Qing nodded and a burst of noise came from his head, both like screams and the piercing sound of poor TV signal reception. Did you hear that? Why is there a strange noise in this school? What? What strange sound? The cosmic invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, walking ahead, turned around and looked at him in confusion. Didn't you hear me? What is that? The person who didn't believe in evil took 2 more steps forward, and the voice in his mind grew louder and louder. Is it getting bigger and bigger? Can't you really hear it? It's like a garbled sound. The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war, pondered for a moment. No, but could it be what you just found in the temple? Song Qing suddenly remembered that the wooden box he had just obtained had not yet been opened to see what was inside. The wooden box reappeared in my hand, and the sound in my mind became much clearer. It seemed like this was the strange sound coming out. Under the gaze of everyone, Song Qing opened the wooden box, but the contents inside almost made them vomit. A few white bones with black minced meat and a fresh beating heart wrapped in cling film. This seems to be a human skeleton from the neck to the pubic bone. It has been split open by someone. Song Qing was completely stunned. Isn't that right? Isn't this game a code? Xiaogua allows bloody violence without coding. The polite boy beside him had already turned his head and started to vomit wildly, and the food in his hands rolled off the ground. The remaining few people, although not scared to vomit, also looked uncomfortable. Hamburg Shark kept muttering that everything was fake, and Ice Snow Lishang Mo also turned her head to one side. Did the system say what this is? The invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, the god of war, forced himself to endure discomfort and spoke. Song Qing put the wooden box back, and the item information started from the beginning. It has become text. The system backpack shows that. This is a quarter of the little girls.